On the wings of an eagle, soar on out of town.
Every day in America, millions of people suffer from transience and general bummanship.
Mister, can you spare $1? Just $1? Lousy prick.
Millions were rescued last year, but for millions of others, help came too late.
Instead of food, you found a skin
The ancient
rash.
riddle. What's the point? What the fuck? It's a drag being an eagle.
May you find a bed to sleep on. 'Cause to me, you're not street trash. I'm Dr. Jackie. Will you be a real chum to a helpless bum? Every day, innocent bums are abused, neglected, and videotaped while fighting, and they're crying out for help.
Help me, Toby Swan. You're my only source for dope.
Please, call Stinker Madness. For just $100 a day, only 7 cents a minute, you'll get a warm feeling in your guilty and gravy-filled heart, knowing that you're kinda helping someone who doesn't want or need your charity, just more vodka.
You're the eagle. Eagle's plunging down, and down, and down. And BAM! He's just a splatter of feathers, and then we don't have that national bird of America no more. Did you ever see that?
We'll take your money and spend it on microphones, a new mixer, a camper van with an airbrush painting of Gandalf and R2-D2 riding on the back of Falcor over a crowd of topless barbarian women, and love. Soar on out of town.
I once did that, but the government men came and took my duties, and sold them to Bigfoot. They were my friends.
And the Martian brain stillers that keep you down. Call or go online in the next 365 days and you'll receive this free. Well, sort of free. You still have to pay that $100 a day and shipping and handling of $19.95. So it's pretty much not free anymore in any form. Anyways, you'll get this free welcome kit with a signed digital headshot of our own Sam, plus unlimited downloads of our Star Wars Holiday Special episode, and the photos of a homeless person's wiener, one that is out living on the street but has been given a second chance thanks to you and all your crappy feelings about yourself. May you find a bed to sleep on. Right now, there is a bum that needs you. 'Cause to me, you're not street trash.
I'll stab you in your face ass if you come near my duties!
Your call says, I'm here to help and to make up for feeling shitty about having 2 entire lobsters for dinner. Please, call now and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me, as always, in Stinker Studio A is Jackie and Sam. How are you two people? Are either of you homeless today?
My duties!
Your duties. They've taken your duties, and you're not happy.
I have a place to live.
Okay, good. It's nice to hear. Me too. I also live there. I was born homeless. Did you know that? I lived on the street while I was a baby. Fought for myself. Learned how to be tough on the streets with my baby toughness.
With your binky slicer.
Yep. I don't know. I just thought I was thinking earlier today and about this homeless business while I was writing this, and I was like, a homeless baby would be fucking hilarious. But then a homeless baby is like the most tragic thing of all time.
And they just die.
Well, yeah, but what if the baby was tough? Like, what if the baby made it?
Like, Special Agent Jack Bauer the cat?
Yeah, along those lines.
It'd have to be along those lines that the baby would have to be able to survive on gasoline.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough baby.
It would be a tough-ass fucking baby. Anyways, we've got a great show for you planned. Sam has brought us, it's his pick this week, with a movie called Street Trash, which the only thing I know about involves homeless people and melting.
Melting and homeless, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's in a nutshell right there.
All right. We've got some streaming do's and don'ts. Oh, before we get started, I want to say thank you for all of our new listeners. I know that we had a huge boost in listenership after the 2015 SMAVFuzz. I want to thank you all for listening. I know that you've got alternatives. There is a ton of alternatives you can listen to, but thank you for joining us. And kick your feet up and relax and smoke some pot or something. I don't know.
I'm drinking.
If you're in Colorado
or Oregon
or Washington, D.C.
Uh,
and Washington
State,
and California if you've got a prescription.
and or homeless, because homeless people
Oh,
just get
you're
caught.
above the law anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Streaming do's and don'ts this week. Got a couple funky ones here. First, there's some movies, but then I want to talk about a couple of TV shows.
Is that against the rules, Justin?
No.
he plays by his own rules.
Yep, I'm homeless. As many people well know, I finally finished every episode ever of Star Trek, including Shitty Enterprise.
Isn't there an animated series?
I'm talking live action. That doesn't count.
No, well, it's not every
non-canon.
episode.
It's non-canon.
Oh, all right,
So,
well.
there you go.
Make your own excuses.
I have moved on, though, and I am now watching Hercules, The Legendary Journey, starring Kevin Sorbo, which I have to say may be the sweetest fucking thing ever of all time.
They're real easy to watch, aren't they?
It is awesome. It is. If it was a movie, like, it would be nigh the greatest bad movie of all time.
They're very formulaic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The formula is Hercules punches people through stuff.
Some ladies with very little shirt come on.
If Hercules has taught me anything, ancient Greek women were all beautiful. Not a single one was unattractive.
None of them were unattractive, but they all had D cups, and they all nailed Hercules.
Yep, pretty much. I bring this up because of one specific reason, which ties into Hercules. Jackie and I also finished the first season of Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is also a total fucking do, which should be a no-brainer. Everybody knows that if you haven't seen it yet, it's fantastic. There is a direct link between the two. The executive producer for both shows was one Sam Raimi.
I didn't realize that Sam Raimi was the executive producer of Hercules The Legendary Journeys.
Maybe that's why it's so badass.
I know that it started as they were trying to do a movie, then it became a TV movie that turned into a pilot.
Mm-hmm. There was like 4 TV movies, actually.
They had to do 4 TV movies before the series actually took.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just kept jamming it in there until finally people were like, you're right, he's punching people, there's boobs, this will work.
Yep, no, it's great. In fact, Bruce Campbell even directed 8 episodes of Hercules, The Legendary Journeys.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, they're directly tied together. So if you got Netflix and Stars, make sure to watch both of those.
And good taste.
And, well, our kind of taste, at least. As far as movies, on Netflix, starring Chris Walken, Prophecy 2. He's back to be the Angel of Death.
To be weird. He's not as weird in this one, is he?
He's not as scenery chewing. There's a lot more of him on screen, but it's not him. You know why you do that thing with your lips? It's because I made you do that. He's not as walking-y.
Yeah.
But it's still, I still liked it. Brittany Murphy's in it. Let's see here, who else was in it? Jennifer Beals, the Flashdance lady.
Yeah.
And the Nephilim. Like, that's what the movie's about.
Yeah, the movie's about the Nephilim.
Angel comes down and bangs Jennifer Beals, and then Chris Walken's like, no, that's an abomination. I have to kill you, lady. And he's the bad guy? I don't know if this movie works for me or not. Jackie?
Well, if the baby's born, then God's going to win.
Oh?
Because...
Or it's an abomination.
I thought
and
it was an
becomes
abomination.
the Antichrist.
I don't think that's the Antichrist. What I got from it, and maybe I'm wrong here, is that there had been this war, right, based off the first prophecy, and that this war is still kind of dragging on.
Good versus evil, yeah.
Yeah.
And, so they figure out that, hey, if we knock somebody up on Earth with an angel baby, that baby will probably kill Christopher Walken.
See, I got that the angel baby is basically just a wild card. Like, nobody knows what's coming out of there, but it's probably not good.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's even referenced in the movie that the first Nephilim is what caused God to flood the entire earth. God, in my opinion, sure doesn't seem to like those Nephilim very much. Why would they be like, yay, Nephilim? And Chris Walken's like, no, it's bad. I'm working for the devil, but it seems you guys don't know what's good and what's bad. I'm going to do you a solid here.
I don't know. Either way, I liked it.
I liked it too.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
I like all of them. I have to say do because I bought all 5 of them.
Yeah, Prophecy 2 is a total do, especially if you did Prophecy 1. It didn't disappoint. It's really stupid, and Chris Walken's great in it. So,
despite their atmospheric tone, they move along well enough that you don't get bored.
The first one was a little dry in the beginning.
It's a little dry.
But goes hot lead after that. Interesting side note, while I was looking into it, it was like, Brittany Murphy, she's dead. How did she die? Anybody want to take a guess?
She got knocked up by a Nephilim, I thought.
Oh, yeah. Well, it might as well have been. Jackie, you want to take a guess?
She died from like an overdose of cough syrup.
Yeah, that's what, well, it's still a little shaky.
I think it was like a bad prescription, like allergic reaction to something.
Suspicious circumstances, but essentially her boyfriend, they were living together, and she got like flu-like symptoms, and so she died, and the doctor was like, oh, it's pneumonia. That's what's on her death certificate. And then 7 months later, her boyfriend starts feeling icky. He dies. Doctor's like, it's pneumonia. They both got pneumonia. They both died from it. They're in their late 20s, perfectly healthy people.
Anybody can die from pneumonia if you don't do anything about it.
Two people
is a coincidence, yeah.
So they did some fact-checking, or not some fact-checking, but
detective work
10 years after the fact, and it's looking like it was mold poisoning in their house.
Oh, that would make sense. That would have the same pneumonia-like characteristics.
Yeah, so you're not safe from that mold. Make sure you get a good house inspector, even if you are a Hollywood celebrity.
And the radon's bad, too.
Yeah, public service announcement.
Next
up on Netflix, The Crippled Avengers from the Shaw Brothers. Sam, have you seen The Crippled Avengers?
How many of them are crippled, too?
4. Well, there's a lot of people crippled,
Oh.
but the actual Crippled Avengers, there's 4 of them.
Who was in it?
Asian guys.
Well, no, the same guy from Heroes of the East and Benji, whatever his name is.
The 5 Deadly Venoms. It's a spin-off of the 5 Deadly Venoms. It's another movie, essentially.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay. So let me tell you who these guys are. There's a guy that basically they all get crippled by the same guy because he got crippled because he was a bad guy. And then he got metal hands put on, which are pretty sweet. But so he's just running around crippling guys. That's like his MO. And then he cripples these 4 guys, and they're like, well, it's too bad you did that because we know Kung Fu. So there's one guy, he gets his legs chopped off, gets them replaced with metal legs. They're pretty sweet. Another guy gets blinded, but now he can hear really good. Like he just practices his hearing, so he's good at Kung Fu and he can hear. Another guy gets muted. I don't really understand how. Like they poured icky stuff in his mouth, and it made him mute and then deaf because he, like, one of the ninja masters did like a thunderclap next to his ears, and now he's permanently deaf. But he can still see, so he's still good at Kung Fu. And then he relies on the guy that hears really good to like communicate and be like, they're like pals, like they tap on each other's hands, like do Kung Fu on that guy over there to the right. And then there's a guy that gets turned into basically a village idiot. Like he's slow and annoying and troublesome, but he's really good at Kung Fu.
Head injury.
Yeah. I gotta say, it was fucking awesome.
It was. It's so, if I recall, I remember this is one that we watched when Roman got the pack of Shaw Brothers, that it's spun off of the 5 Deadly Venoms, but it's a lot better. It's just much better. The 5 Deadly Venoms is just kind of okay.
Yeah, it's fun, it's silly, there's lots of flying karate ninja kung fu business that doesn't make any sense, and the guys play off of each other's powers a lot. And
I think one of the things that really, when the Shaw Brothers get a little too straight, they can almost make a good movie. It's when they add too many gimmicks into the picture that they're really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like there's just too many gimmicks in this picture.
This is a gimmick.
There's not
film.
enough room for all these gimmicks, and so they're just kind of spilling out the sides.
There's so many people in this movie that are crippled, but in a good way. If there is a good way,
I don't think I would have liked it.
Well, they're just, yeah, okay, fine. You don't like kung fu movies, so your opinion's moot. I'm
like
giving
the
it
guy
a
with the can't hear because they poured the stuff in him.
No,
Well, that's not mute, is it?
No, she's just an asshole. Last but not least, also on Netflix, Best of the Best 4 Without Warning. I watched this by myself. Sam, you've seen this a long time ago. You're saying?
No, it was 2 years ago.
Okay. All right. Well, it's Tommy Lee, the same guy from all of them, versus the Mafia. Yes, Tommy Lee is the main character of Best of the Best 1 through 4. His name is Tommy Lee. He's not the drummer from Motley Crue. He's a karate guy.
Oh, okay.
Looks nothing like the guy with the 12-inch dong that banged Pamela Anderson.
Keeps the dong in his pants.
He does go upside down in a drum cage every now and then, though. Of kicking ass. But, yeah, this one's got... I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It is, like, put every stinker staple into a film and shoot it and leave a trail of dead bad guys behind it.
Which is the one where they blow up the house in the desert? Is that 2?
That's 2.
That's 2.
Yeah. This is
the tarmac fight at the end.
Yep.
That's the only part I remember. I remember that being awesome, but the rest of it was okay. It's better than 3 because I couldn't tell you what happened in 3, and I think I've seen 3 twice.
That one's Tommy Lee versus the White Supremacists.
Oh, yeah. That one's not as good as 4. 4's a lot...
Dude, they're all fucking solid, man.
Yeah, 4 is a lot more fun than... I think 2's the best, then 4, then 3, and then 1 is actually a very straight-laced tournament fighting movie. 1
Well,
These all sound not very good.
4 is not a straight-laced movie. This thing is so stupidly awesome. It's really stupid. Really,
I like 2 better,
really, really fucking dumb and awesome every step along the way. I cannot praise Best of the Best 4 without warning. I don't know what the warning is. Hey.
Well, there isn't one. That's why.
Yeah, I guess. Is the without warning, hey, you're getting Best of the Bested. Is that to us? Like, who's not getting the warning?
He didn't get a warning. Did you see anybody give
Is he
him a warning?
supposed to get a warning?
Well, I don't know, but there's none. Whether you're supposed to get it or whether you're not, whether you're supposed to get it or whether you're not supposed to get it, if there's no warning, you've gone without warning.
Well, then they could have just called it Best of the Best 4 without pickles.
There's probably no pickles
There's
either.
no pickles.
But pickles aren't as vital to revenge as warning.
Well, they do keep you hydrated.
Pickles do not keep you hydrated.
Yes, they do. They restore electrolytes in you if you get dehydrated.
Okay.
Science by bullshit.
It's true.
Well, you have to drink water still.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't just live off of pickles.
I think you both don't have a fucking clue.
Well, drinking water rehydrates you. I will stand by that.
That one might be right. I may not be able to argue with that one.
I could be a non-scientisty person.
Well, there's your streaming do's and don'ts for the week. That's 3 do's out of us for Prophecy 2, Crippled Avengers, and Best of the Best 4 without warning. Sam, what have you brought us this week?
I have a superpower.
Okay.
The superpower is that you can replicate yourself into 4 different yous for 2 seconds and then pick which one you're going to be and then all go back into the one. Now, here's the catch. 1, it only lasts for 2 seconds before you have to pick one body.
You got 2 seconds to make a decision.
Okay. And 2, you only have one brain. You're never independent. So you're basically like Michael Jackson when he's got the 5 dummies. Like, you would move exactly the same. All 4 of you.
So you're like that one X-Men guy, Multiple Man.
Except he can basically think, each one of them can think independently.
I didn't think he could.
Yeah, he could.
Okay, all right.
And move independent. Or he can't think independently, but he can move his bodies independently.
All right.
This is just like, you're in 4 spots at once, but you're mirrors of yourself.
Where are these 4 spots?
You can pick them. You don't necessarily
do I
have
need to see them?
Now,
Can I be
that's
like
the
China?
trick. You
I got
could
a guy in
guess.
China right now.
But if you reappeared or like if you morphed into something, it wouldn't like be that you came into it. You'd like break it. You'd like blow into it.
You're talking 2 objects occupying the same space at the same time. The other object would lose.
Yes,
every time.
But it would hurt you seriously, and because you can't move independently, it's just like, oh, I'm not going to pick that one. Obviously, you don't pick that one, but now you're injured.
Okay.
Even if you like, I'm going to go on the other side of that wall. I know it's okay.
But you could go all the way to China. That's what I'm getting at.
No, you would never have the balls because
Give
of
me
how
some limitations.
Because if you went on the other side of the wall and you hit the coffee table, it
Don't
would
tell
hurt
me
so
what I'm
much.
going to do. Can I do it?
I don't know that you could do it because it's just so you can't. There'd be no way to. You'd have to know where it is. That's the thing. Even if it's out of your sight, if it's on the other side of the wall and you know that the middle of the room is okay, you know it. You don't really know where China
so,
is.
Essentially, it's really shitty teleportation.
Yes.
That's
but
the only thing I can come up with it that has any purpose at all. Split second.
There is 4 of you immediate instantaneous, and you can't eliminate that number either. It's always 4. It's never 2. It's never just on the other side of the wall. You can split into 4 people. It's never less than 2 seconds. It's always 2 seconds. And
But you
at
can't
the
get
end of the
anything
2
done.
seconds,
It doesn't help you multitask. So it's useless as far as that.
Well, what happens at the end of 2 seconds if you don't pick somebody?
you go back to the original one.
Okay.
I have a scenario in which this would be a real bitch to anybody.
Okay.
One-on-one basketball. You got 2 seconds. You can score a shit.
Yeah, that's...
You can run a 2-second offense in basketball, football. Here, throw your ball.
It's technically cheating.
Oh,
But,
it's cheating, but you know, if you were like against other powered people, you could hold your own in a game of basketball.
If you're playing that game in the streets, they're going to fucking shoot your ass.
Well, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
No. Let's say because it's a world of superpowers, you know, you're playing against somebody else that's got superpowers, you can hold your own in a game of basketball.
Like that guy that can hear really, really well. I don't know, man.
Ultimately, you can use it to move extraordinarily quickly.
Yeah, but you'd still have to think okay, now I've taken I've saved myself 30 seconds. I've gone down the street. I can see down there it's safe. 30 seconds. Then you would have to rejudge and go. So yeah, you're cruising. You could move rapidly for teleportation, but it's all line of vision. Got to make sure that that's safe type stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good for that, I guess.
It's also, if you were a detective, you'd be able to really cover a lot of ground.
Well, only 2 seconds at a time. What are you going to?
Well, no, that's the thing is that you'd be able to just sort of ascertain where you should be.
I think this is dumb.
You know,
that's a good argument.
there's a point that, like, no matter what we're doing or talking about, she'll just say that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumb.
I should give it a 7. Teleportation's really the strong point that I'm thinking of. All of your other arguments, I don't really.
Yeah, again, it lends
enjoy.
itself more to criminality just because you would basically, there'd be no jail that could hold you.
Well, travel's nice. I don't like flying or really riding in a car that much. And
yeah, but that's the
you
thing.
could just climb on top of your house and just be like, or you know what you could do is you could look up at the mountain and be like, I'm going to send a guy up there. Then you're there, and then you can look down on top of the city and be like, I want to go there. So you could essentially do really quick jumps in just 2 moves rather than going line of sight, line of sight, line of sight, line of sight.
Yeah, if I had it, although it isn't super useful, I bet I would use it all the time.
Now, what about this? You got 2 seconds. What if you shot one of your guys out into space, and then you were like, bam, I'm there, bam, there,
Again,
bam, there.
You're like, it's going to hurt you.
See, it's space. There's nothing up there.
The vacuum will burst arteries. You'll be in
Okay, the troposphere.
same problem.
Well, you got 2 seconds.
You also have to know where it is. Like, you're just sort of guessing.
Up there.
Up there, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, I
falling
didn't go
for
far
2
enough.
seconds
2
before
seconds,
you decide
it's plenty of time.
Yeah, before you decide. Okay, so that's kind of fun, I guess.
That would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool.
You could take friends, or you couldn't take friends, could you? You couldn't latch on to a guy and then be like, "You're coming up here with me."
No, you wouldn't be able to do that. But if you were like, I have to make that plane. You made the plane.
Yeah.
Or again, the crime fighting thing. Like, none of us are going to be crime fighters. A crime fighter has this. He doesn't have to jump to catch the chopper. He can just see it. He's grabbed the copter.
Chapter.
Chopper. Copper.
Chapter 16. I like it for the teleportation use. I don't really like it for the
downside of having the other two that you know you aren't going to use.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it may be one of those that the right person figures out the perfect scenario for it, but those other two are sort of a detriment. Yes.
Are they alive?
It's all you. You're in 4 spots at once. That's the thing. That's why you move not independently.
Don't get chosen. They don't die.
It's almost like it's just you in 4 spaces at once.
And they just disappear, right?
Yes.
Okay. I like it for the
Instantaneous,
teleportation. I'm going to give this a 7.
3.
Wow.
Okay.
Just being mean.
Yeah. Are you just arbitrarily being mean because it's not your idea? Why is it stupid, Jackie?
You're gonna die.
How?
You're just, one of these days, you're just gonna be ding-donging around and you're gonna hit the wrong spot and you can get hurt. You'll die.
That's why you only choose the places that you know.
You know, you can die from walking.
You
but
can.
You make sure that you're not stepping into alligators when you do it. So you put one foot in front of the other. Eventually, it's going to be like second nature.
I don't care. I give it a 3.
Wow, how about
Just cause you have zero good reason. You just are being shitty towards it.
You could die.
No, you couldn't.
You're not inherently.
You can die from anything. You can die from driving a car more easily than you would die from this, I believe.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound that cool.
Huh. All right. Well, I think Jackie just bought herself 1 for her next
Yeah,
superpower.
whatever
How
it is.
awesome it is.
Super strength and flight.
It's stupid.
It's dumb.
0. I didn't think of it. Meh. Sam, I like it. To counterbalance her, it's going to get a 8. So,
Ooh, you went up 1
So it's a
point.
5.
yeah, it's good. Well, average. How did we make the math easy? No, it gets a 9, so it's an even 6 because that's what
Yeah.
it should have been. Should have been a 6.
Ugh, cheater.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're just being a butthole. Sam, what do you got for Street Trash?
The year is 1986. Fresh off his first job as a Steadicam operator on the film Spookies.
Oh, we did an episode on.
We did an episode on Spookies, yes. One James Michael Murrow, then 21 years of age, would embark on expanding his short film into a feature. What would follow is the 1987 film Street Trash. Street Trash opens with a series of Steadicam shots, then quickly darts into the realm of nonsense. I was unable to find if the original short was written by Roy Fumkus, but the feature-length work seems to understand the psyche of the bum completely, while not understanding genre or storytelling at any level.
So this is a fairly accurate look inside the mind of a homeless person.
I've never seen a
it's
movie
all
that's more
manners.
just like, yep, that's bums.
Fucking crazy shit.
This is Bums, the movie.
Sir, would you like $1?
Just wait. It's really it's something else. This film is labeled a horror, specifically a body horror. Now, there are other films that ride the body horror angle without really being a horror. Some of Cronenberg's work, for example. None to this extent. If I had to pick a genre for this film, it would be adventure. Though The Misadventures of Bums is not really an adventure, nor is Never Leaving a 3-block radius. Bum venture is not a subgenre of film. If it was, this would be more of a bum venture than a body horror. In some defense of its classification, the film is very goopy, and considered by most fans of the Melt movies to be a melter piece. Murrow would go on to be an industry-preferred Steadicam operator. Cameron has used him in all of his films since The Abyss. He's probably too proficient as an operator for his own good. His 67 credits at that position are from The Obscure to the Academy Award-winning, see Maniac Cop, to L.A. Confidential. It wasn't until recently that it's found his way back into the director's chair, mostly for series on television, the most recent being Longmire.
Oh, yeah. Jackie and I gave that a couple episodes. Wasn't for us.
Yeah.
It was fine, though.
Funke, the writer and producer, worked hard on the script. Unfortunately, actor Vic Nato, who was cast as Bronson the day prior to the start of filming, didn't get to read it.
Okay.
Not until 3 months after they had wrapped shooting.
Whoops, I fucked that up.
Nato recounted that he didn't know what he was doing, didn't know who Bronson was, and didn't know what the movie was about. Even after reading the script, Nato concedes that he still doesn't know who Bronson is.
I never wrapped my head around that character.
Yeah, so Funke would take that pen that turns the pages to such favorites as The Substitute and its sequels. Eventually, he would also go on to make a documentary about this film.
Okay.
Because it's apparently so beloved at this point. The lead is played by Michael Ackie, who also does the makeup. Brian Singer was a production assistant on this film.
All right.
He was likely paid in Drake's Cage. Drake's Cakes.
Drake's Cakes.
Drake's Cakes. The cast and crew... The only sponsorship the film was able to secure was all the Drake's Cakes the cast and crew could eat.
What the hell's a Drake cake?
I think it's like a ho-ho or something.
A ding-dong?
Something like that.
Snowball?
They're just really bad
Twinkie?
for you food. But that's the only... we're trying to get product placement, sponsorship, and all they got was Drake's Cakes. And they didn't give them money, they just gave them Drake's Cakes.
Maybe it's like the precursor to all the cupcake store craze that we're currently inundated with.
Maybe.
Drake cake started it all.
Yeah. Well, there's, of course, a fat exploding guy in this movie.
Hey!
Yeah.
I like fat exploding guys.
That which...
I've seen one since Meaning of Life.
Yeah, well, the matter which exhumes and explodes out of him is the many boxes of Drake's Cakes that no one could eat anymore.
We're sick of these Drake's cakes. Let's do it. Fucking special effects with them.
Yeah. Other than the Drake's Cakes, there seems to be no financials available on this film. The only count available is that the word fuck is used 128 times.
Fuck me. That's a lot. That's like White Man Can't Jump levels.
So this week's Keep an Eye Out For is a little longer than usual, just because it's not Keep an Eye Out For an actor. This movie has a lot of... It's got like a 67 on Rotten Tomatoes, because the only people that have reviewed it are fans
us.
of melty
Right,
movies.
sure.
And it's not just us. Like, I'm not on the fence. I like this movie a lot, but I don't at any point think that it's a good movie.
Sure.
Especially, I think that it has the essential failure of, what is this thing about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to keep an eye out for.
What is it about?
One, we're going to have a little game, too.
Okay.
Who's your favorite bum? 2, what genre is this movie? 3, what is this movie about? 4, Jared Lorenz is actually in this movie, or James Lorenz.
James Lorenz.
James Lorenz of Frankenhooker makes his film debut as Doorman in this film,
boy.
so keep an eye out for him, too.
Okay. Well, the movie is on YouTube, so check it out and come back to us. I have not seen this one. Jackie, I don't think you have.
No, I have
either?
not seen this either. I don't really like bums.
Nobody likes bums.
Nobody likes bums, nobody likes goop. This one's sort of won me over anyway. I will mention that the version that we're going to watch on YouTube is the foreign subtitled version, because the other versions are missing 20 minutes of the film.
Oh.
So it's called
But I can't read.
You don't have to read it.
You
It's
would've made
in
it.
English, but if you knew like Portuguese or Italian, you'd be able to read
confused.
it. I don't understand these words. Stop reading them and just listen to the English on the voice track.
I can't not read them. All right, well, check out the movie. Come back to us on Monday, and in the meantime, get to the chopper. Thank you for listening to Stinker Madness. If this is your first time, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll come back to listen more. But now, we'd like to ask all of our listeners for a small favor. We aren't ranking as high as we'd like, and we need your help. Would you please take just a couple of minutes to rate and review us on your preferred listening platform, be it iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever else you can. It takes many hours each week to bring you this show, and just a couple seconds of your time is a huge help for us. And for those of you that have already done this, we say thank you.